What up, J-Muse here, and you're listening to Three Guys and a Flick. Snooch to the nooch, boo-boo kitty nooch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Feel free to conduct an investigation at 2nd Avenue at the secret headquarters of the 12 Monkeys. They're the ones who are going to do it. I can't do any more now. I have to go. Have a Merry Christmas.
Three guys and a flick with Don, Ken, and John. Dive into the movies well after the dawn. From the good to the bad to the wildly absurd. They give a fuck about films. Their voices are heard.
Welcome back. You are listening to Three Guys and a Flick. This is where we review the good, the bad, and the absurd. Tonight's episode, 12 Monkeys. Beware spoilers. Coming to you from inside the headquarters of the 12 Monkeys, my name is Don. And to my right, we have the comic book guy, John.
Howdy-ho.
And to my left, we have the professor, Ken.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? I mean, it's really good to see you, but, I can't really see you, but I do see you in my mind when I'm looking through my mind. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Very well. You seem a little jittery there, guy. You okay?
Yeah.
Don, cut his meds again.
Oh, well, no, I might bump those up a little bit. Tonight we are talking about 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys comes to us via the Broncos helmet and was submitted by my man, Superman Tanker, and John S. So I got to ask, is that you, John S?
No, that was not me.
So thank you to my man, Superman Tanker, and John S., not our John S., for throwing 12 Monkeys into the Broncos helmet. We appreciate it. This is for you. Released on December 29th, 1995, 12 Monkeys was directed by Terry Gilliam. Screenplay by David and Janet Peoples. Based on La Jetée by Chris Marker. And it stars Bruce Willis, Madeleine Stowe, Brad Pitt, Christopher Plummer, Frank Gorshin, and a bunch of other inmates, doctors, and divergent patients.
How'd this movie do, Don?
This movie was made for $29 million and brought in $169 million.
Not bad for a movie that test audiences didn't like and everyone thought was going to just completely bomb.
Not bad at all. Speaking of 1995, did either of you see this in the movie theater?
No.
No, sir.
Had you seen this before?
Yes, sir.
I had seen it once before, remembered thinking right after I saw it, what the fuck did I just watch? Didn't understand it at all, and I think this is the official second time I've seen it.
You know what? I'm kind of there with you. I for one, I did see this in the theater. I remember thinking, what the fuck did I just watch?
I'm with you fellers.
And over time, I've probably caught bits of it here and there on cable, this and that. But last night was probably the first time I've watched it in, 20 years.
Well, it helps to actually pay a little bit of attention watching this movie, because if you focus in, you start to pick up things. But this is one of those movies I feel like you have to watch multiple times to really understand what the fuck's going on.
I agree with you, John. This movie is directed by one Terry Gilliam. He was a member of the Monty Python troupe, and I believe he did, in fact, direct The Holy Grail.
He was one of the directors, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Terry Gilliam?
I had never heard of this phrase before, and when I was just talking to you about it before we started recording, Dutch angles. I guess he loves to film using Dutch angles and wide shots. What is a Dutch angle?
A Dutch angle is when your frame is tilted, but everybody is level.
And what it's supposed to do is it conveys a basic sense that there's something wrong, or you have unease, or it's like a disorientation, and you're not certain, and you're unsure of yourself. And so, it's to emphasize this heightened emotional state that somebody might be feeling.
And that, listeners, is why we call him the fucking professor.
I read a bunch of reviews kind of preparing for this podcast, and I found that if people didn't like the overuse of Dutch angles, they didn't like this movie. If they didn't mind it, they got more out of the movie.
Oh, I mean, I can see how that would happen. I am of the opinion that, if you're not a fan of a certain anything, you're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or give it a fair shake. How about that? We'll say that.
Did you find it distracting at all?
No, not at all. Because
no, it helped sell the story.
Because nicely put. And the production design I thought was wonderful. Gringy, dark, and dirty, and very, very 90s. And I, for one, like the look and the angles.
Terry also did Time Bandits, which I think you and I have talked about in the past, is kind of a fun movie.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So
I actually went back and watched it recently.
You son of a bitch. Is it in the Broncos helmet?
I don't think it is. It's a pretty fucked up movie if you go back and watch it.
Well, don't say anything because, again, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And listeners, no, Time Bandits is not in the Broncos helmet. So please and thank you from the professor.
Uh-huh.
A lot of directors passed on this movie when they read the script. They all said, what the fuck's going on with this movie? One of the reasons why Terry got it was because he was coming off a success of Fisher King. What do you think of The Fisher King?
I haven't seen it.
I did, like I said, it's not one of my favorite movies, but of Terry Gilliam, I would say it's one of my favorite ones he's done.
I got to go with Brazil.
And here, there's a lot of production drama involved with over the final cut. And what we got isn't what Terry Gilliam intended.
Yeah, he was pretty pissed off about it because he had his vision completely reorganized by the studio.
Yes. And one of the conditions of taking this film was he wanted final cut.
Yep. But watching this, it's like, man, this feels a lot like Brazil in some aspects.
Oh my gosh. Yes, sir. The future.
Yeah.
Very much the future.
Never seen Brazil.
That's what I thought. You should check it out.
It's worth checking out.
Listeners, again, please and thank you.
So had either of you heard of the movie? Because this is basically a remake of a short French film called La Jetée. Have you guys heard of that?
I heard of it. I have not seen it. This is what I know of it. It's a 28-minute short that is mostly just still frames.
It's all still frames with a voiceover.
Yeah. And no, I have not seen it.
It's supposed to be really good.
And Terry Gilliam has never seen it. So if he doesn't have to watch it, I don't have to watch it.
I never saw it. Never even heard of it.
Have you seen it?
No. But did you hear how they got the rights to remake this movie?
No, how?
A lot of film companies had approached the guy who did that movie about remaking the movie, and he kept saying no. He went out to Chinese food for Francis Ford Coppola, and Coppola said, you know what? You should let us remake this movie. He went, okay, if you say so.
Yeah, over at Universal. And Gilliam was hesitant to also take the deal with Universal because they screwed him on Brazil. But he was assured that nobody from that team that he had worked with.
There was one guy, but he was in his corner previously.
Okay, yeah. Yes, there was. And so, yeah. And then they get their cast involved and 12 Monkeys is made.
And the studio, Universal, was willing to back off and give that control to Terry because they had signed Bruce Willis. And so he is an A-list actor, so that should be good for the box office.
Speaking of which, we kind of have a connection to our last movie here.
I was just going to bring it up. You beat me by half a second. We'll call this a run, right? 3 weeks ago, we do Sunshine. What's Sunshine about?
Sunshine is a space movie.
About nuclear bombs in space.
Yeah.
Okay. Last week, we did what?
A movie about nuclear bombs in space.
Which was?
Armageddon.
And who does it star?
Bruce Willis.
And what does Bruce Willis do in the movie?
Save the world.
And?
Die.
Okay. This week.
Okay, but the week before
we
do Sunshine, we did Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
Michelle Yeoh.
Oh my God, it started
and
with
Michelle Yeoh in Sunshine.
Yeah. Did it start with Michelle? That's a good run.
But can I just say, this is not on purpose. This is not something we're trying to do. These are all random picks out of the helmet that just so happen all these movies so far are connecting up over the last few weeks.
And it's not just that they connect, I think at the singular level, it's the actor, right? That's always a fun connection. But themes have started to emerge and morph and go into the other movies that we've done too. So I think that's a lot of fun.
Speaking of Bruce Willis, I love the fact that Terry Gilliam gave him a list of Bruce Willis cliches, acting style, and said, you are not allowed to do any of these on the list.
I love that too, because this is not John McClane.
It is so un-John McClane.
This is not Harry Stamper.
I would even go as far to say this may be Bruce Willis's best acting role to actually get to see his acting chops.
I counter with a little movie called Unbreakable. Listeners, he gave me a nod of approval.
He's not disagreeing.
I'm
That's
not
right.
disagreeing, but I think lean towards
How about this? We both agree. I think all three of us agree, possibly. I guess I should ask the professor. We think this might be one of Bruce's finest acting performances.
Mm-hmm.
He was strong in this.
Strong, yeah, for sure.
And he was just a pro at drooling.
I felt so drugged watching the first half of this film. And I remember feeling that in the theater. So good job, Terry Gilliam.
So do we all agree Bruce did a great job in this movie?
Of drilling, yes.
Yes, agreed. And yelling. Madeleine Stowe. You guys remember Madeleine Stowe?
Yeah, the only other place that I really remember her from was the wife in We Were Soldiers.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever see Last of the Mohicans?
I might have, but I don't remember if I actually did or not.
Pretty good film. Very epic for that time period.
It's long.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But Daniel Day-Lewis, man. That dude, yeah, he can act. What'd you think of her?
I thought she did an okay job. She wasn't a standout. She wasn't in the movie, I think, a lot because she kept just, these few scenes here and there. What she was in was okay, but in my opinion, she could have been replaceable.
Yeah. Yeah. Professor, did you like her performance?
Yes.
I thought she did fine. I think Madeleine Stowe's a good actress. I liked her in Stakeout.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I thought she played well off of Bruce and everyone else.
The one that stole the movie for me, Brad Pitt. And this was a young Brad Pitt before, when he signed to do this movie, he was not a big name actor. He was just kind of a nobody, which was one of the reasons why Terry liked him.
I wouldn't say nobody.
Right. He had a string of 3 movies that came out right before this one that made him a Hollywood name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what his bit in Thelma and Louise and Cool World before this, that's, so he was a known quantity. But as John is pointing out, he had 3 movies that were prominent Brad Pitt movies that most likely he would have been paid a lot better if these 3 movies had been completed before he signed on to do this movie.
Oh, sure.
Those movies were what? 7, Legends of the Fall, and what was the third one?
Interview with a Vampire.
That's
which
right.
he fucking kills it. And he has a great bit in True Romance in California. I mean, Brad Pitt is on the way up as this movie's coming out.
Yeah, his star is definitely rising.
Yeah, and I agree with you. He does steal the show. And just his little ticks and appreciating Brad Pitt now like I do and then going back and watching his earlier performances makes me appreciate him even more.
Did you?
I fucking loved it. He nominated for
Academy Award.
Best Supporting Actor, I believe.
Yep.
And won a Golden Globe for this.
Yeah.
But did you hear how Terry Gilliam got him ready for this role?
Yes.
They took away his cigarettes before takes.
Yeah.
He was strangely hypnotic to watch. And part of that was because of his eye that he
lazy
had.
eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was quite the character. Very, very eclectic and certainly very eccentric.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else jump out at you in this cast?
Frank Gorshin, and not because of his acting in this movie, but who the fuck who he is. Frank Gorshin was the old doctor who
Smokes cigarettes.
Oh, the Riddler.
There it is.
the Riddler
Yeah.
from the original Batman series.
And who's the actor that plays the lab assistant that's in the Green Mile?
David Morse.
I've seen him in a bunch of things, but I always forget who he is.
Oh, he's a great actor. He's a great character actor.
Yeah.
He's great in The Green Mile. He's in The Rock. You love The Rock so fucking
That's
much.
true. Yeah, he is. He's one of the bad guys.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
Isn't he also in Black Hawk Down?
He might be. I feel like he's in a lot. What did you guys think of the look of the film?
It looked cheap, like cheaply made, but that was kind of what they were going for, and it helped him stay under budget.
See, what you call cheap, I call gritty. I thought the look was gritty, and it was very bleak, that's for sure.
Dystopian.
And I bought it if that's kind of how it would go. And it looked very Terry Gilliam to me, the future at least.
Yeah.
And I like the concept of it.
Well, the great thing about it is the future, it was supposed to look like a people who had scrounged for everything that they have. And so that's what we got. And they filmed in abandoned warehouses and penitentiaries and things like that.
Oh, yeah, they filmed it on the cheap.
And they didn't do anything on a soundstage. So that was what we got.
Yeah, yeah. Did you like the look of it there, Guy?
Well, yeah, just because I'm looking at it and go, man, this looks so Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, the monitors everywhere, the hyper viewing of looking at equipment where nothing is hidden behind any panels. You're able to see bottles and tubes and wires, out in prominent, nothing looks sleek or modern.
Right. So I wish there was a voicemail telling me the answers to the questions that the professor is about to come up with.
I already looked into the future,
Yeah.
and I know you win this one. So,
Oh, really?
Congratulations.
Question number 1. When James first arrives at the mental hospital, Jeffrey Gomes agrees to show him around for $5,000. In this scene, how many times do we hear $5,000?
John, 3 times.
Not correct.
I'm going to go ahead and say 4.
Not correct. The
2?
correct answer is 5.
5.
Question number 2. When we catch up with Dr. Rayleigh giving her speech, among other things, the Cassandra complex, what is the date of her speech?
Dawn, April 12th, 1990.
No.
Fuck.
I know the year was 1996. I'm going to say October of 1996.
Oh, it's November.
It is November 1996. Question number 3. What animal is on the roof of the Oasis Motel that James and Catherine stay at on their trip to Philadelphia?
I thought he was going with the lion.
I know, so did I. That really threw... Dawn, a bear.
No.
A monkey?
A camel. Question number 4. What songs do the scientists sing to James upon returning to his present-day timeline?
Dawn. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Point to Dawn.
God, I would have been so pissed if that was wrong.
Question number 5. What is the name of the first city that Jeffrey plans to visit as told by the flight attendant?
John, San Francisco.
Point to John. So, with 1 point apiece, that takes us to a tie-breaking question. When the scientist introduces herself to Dr. Goines' assistant, what does she say she does for a living?
Dawn, insurance.
Insurance is the correct
You're
answer.
talking about on a plane. Okay.
Yeah.
So this week's winner is Dawn.
Didn't see that coming.
Years after a virus wiped out 99% of humanity, prisoner James Cole is chosen to travel back to 1996. His mission is to gather information about the original virus so scientists can develop a cure. Cole is also haunted by a recurring childhood memory of watching a man being shot in an airport. The time machine mistakenly sends him to Baltimore in 1990. After warning people about the coming plague, Cole is arrested and committed to a psychiatric hospital under Dr. Catherine Riley. There, he meets Jeffrey Goines, an eccentric patient who rants against consumerism. Cole claims the army of the 12 monkeys will release the virus, but everybody believes he is delusional. During an escape attempt, he is suddenly pulled back to the future. Another failed trip briefly sends him to a World War I battlefield where he is shot in the leg.
So this movie opens up on a pair of eyes.
Well,
Sort of.
it opens up on the title card.
Oh, on the title.
It's got to set the story for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's the green screen text.
And you know what I like about the text, what made me chuckle and kind of put me in a good mood right away, is that it's coming from a patient at the hospital. And I'm thinking, second time you're watching it, oh, that's fucking Bruce Willis. So I like that.
I was just going to say that the eyes were the bookends of the movie. It opens with eyes, it ends with eyes.
And we open up on the dream, and we see this blonde-haired woman running, and we see this little kid with a crew cut. And, I mean, duh, of course that's Bruce Willis.
And some long-haired guy getting shot.
Right. And then we cut to Bruce Willis waking up.
He's in a cage.
And we are in the future. And this is our first look at what a prison in the future would look like if everybody has to live underground. What do you guys think of this whole sequence?
I thought it was interesting that we're never told what he did to get arrested or put into this prison, but we didn't need to know. So it feels like Terry saved time by just saying he's in prison.
Well, they do say that he was violent or has a tendency for violence. But I agree. I don't think they need it. I didn't care. And, it's Bruce Willis, so I'm rooting for him as soon as the movie opens.
Yeah, and we are told by his partner next to him, Jose, that he's been selected for volunteer duty.
He gets sent outside to go observe and collect things. And I thought this is an interesting, because this almost caused Terry Gilliam to go over budget. It was a very hot day and they needed to create the snowy world outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they had a few different times of trying different things to create the snow and caused all kinds of delays.
I like the steps that he has to go through.
The suiting up sequence, I dug that too.
Yeah.
Because it looks so otherworldly.
It really did.
And you're hearing about all of the procedures that he has to go through. And if any one of those things compromises his suit in any way, then that's it, lights out.
Right.
But you notice how a lot of it paralleled, like the stuff he went through going out and coming back in paralleled his experience at the psychiatric ward in the past as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scrubbing, getting to see Bruce Willis's ass twice.
Yeah, well, who doesn't want to see that? So he gets up to the surface. That's where we, the audience, gets to see the surface of the earth and what the future looks like.
And from the little, narration that appeared on the screen earlier, you can see that the animals have taken over the upstairs world.
Yeah, and his job is to go out and get samples because the animals are immune to the plague, and we haven't found a cure for it yet. So he's out doing research.
Yeah, he's sent up, and apparently he's supposed to bring some sort of life back, I guess, that they can analyze.
Yeah. And so he gets back, and then he gets chosen for a mission.
Yeah, and the reason why he's chosen is because he is a great observer with an amazing memory.
Yeah, he remembers things. What do you guys think of this bit when he's on the chair and they're checking him out?
That was a kind of a wild setup, having him jacked up like that, and then having the scientists all behind those magnified pieces of glass.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy, the weirdness of it, the weird factor of it.
Yeah, and he certainly didn't come across as the sharpest tool in the shed. He didn't seem to be all that with it.
I got two impressions from him right away. One, he's been beat down. He's just beat into submission. And two, I'm guessing education isn't of high priority because he kind of seemed a little childlike.
Yeah.
Especially throughout the movie, some of his reactions seemed a little childlike.
Then we are all of a sudden, it's Baltimore in April 1990.
And I'm thinking to myself, wait, they sent him in the wrong fucking year.
Well, and we're at, an auction? Or we're at a funeral or something like that. And she gets the beeper. I love that the beeper goes off.
And that I wrote down in my notes, really dates this film.
Mm-hmm.
So we meet Madeleine Stowe's character, Dr. Riley.
And she's pulled into a police station.
Because the cops picked up a guy who is delusional, but he took on 5 of his guys.
So he must be on
the
something.
Hospital. He must be on something. But guess what? That motherfucker ain't on anything. No drugs. And so they have him all chained up. And when Dr. Riley meets him, Bruce is all chained to the floor and just drooling like there's no tomorrow.
Well, that's why I was thought is he wasn't on drugs where they brought him in, but did they dope him up because he was so out of it?
They tell her they did.
Yeah.
They shot him with something. And that's why he's drooling like that.
And he's talking about the future and the present and how the present is actually the past.
He wants to know what the date is.
And he finds out, exactly what you said.
He thinks it's 1996, and she's like, no. So he's transported to a mental hospital, and this is where we meet Jeffrey Gones.
What'd you think of this whole bit?
Quite the intro.
He felt freaking insane.
I love how nobody could sit in his chair.
Yeah, he kept going back to it.
Yeah. And even when he's running around helping James, get out of my chair.
I like how the orderly knew how to work with him. Am I going to get my standard fee? Yes, you will get $5,000 wired to your account.
Yeah. And so now we spend some time in the institution with Goins and Cole.
And James, he keeps asking, I need to make a phone call. I got to make a phone call.
And then finally he gets to sit in front of the board.
And so him sitting in front of the group of doctors is not dissimilar to the panel of scientists that he was sitting of before he was sent back in time.
But here's the question. What he says to the doctors, is that what appears as the narration right in the beginning of the movie? Because they talk about a patient that said these things.
Oh, yeah. Because this is as far as we know, this is the first account of this. Mm-hmm. The scientist fucked up. They sent him to 90. Now he's in front of these guys and he's telling them, look, what I'm about to tell you, you're not going to believe me. But I'm not crazy. This is a place for crazy people. Go look at fucking Pitt. And he tells them what happens.
But he starts out with, have you heard of the Army of the 12 Monkeys?
There is a theory about this movie, and this is the theory that I lean to, which is him being sent back in time was on purpose to cause all of this so that the future could then change things in the future. Him telling the doctors, including Dr. Riley, who's there with them, inspires her to write the book that then inspires Peters to release the virus. So him saying all this is what caused everything.
So he is finally granted permission to make his phone call, and it's this overworked mother with over rambunctious children.
Yeah. And he puts two and two together and he's like, wait a minute, it's not 96. That place doesn't exist yet, so
it's not it's not the carpet company yet.
That's right. So he gets thrown back into population and
they doped the hell out of him.
Yeah, I felt doped through this whole fucking sequence with him. Bruce Willis does a really good job selling this.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way, like you were saying, John, the way Gilliam's filming this, it's very disorientating at times.
Yeah, because of that Dutch shot that he does so much.
Yes.
Especially in the asylum.
Yes.
I will say one of my favorite Brad Pitt lines, Jimmy's line, happens in this when someone comes in and says, you're acting out. And he's like, I'm in an insane asylum. I'm supposed to act out.
Yeah. And so he's creating a diversion. However, he kind of picks a shitty time to do it because James is all doped up. But he gives him the key.
Right.
And he tries to get him out.
So we also have a bit that happens at this time where we have, it's nighttime, and James, he wakes up from the dream of the airport again. He sees a little bit more of his dream, but then he has that weird little bit with the spider.
Yeah, he's supposed to collect.
Yes.
He's supposed to collect it, but then also in the future, food is scarce. So my guess is they ate whatever they could get their hands on in the future.
Yeah, but I mean, he specifically tells them when he goes back that I collected it, but I had to eat it.
Yeah, I didn't have anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
And then we have Jeffrey. He is leading us, the audience, down a little bit of a rabbit hole, if you will, because he starts going on about germs and how germs are everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is, okay, so this probably has something to do with the virus, maybe, that wipes out mankind?
Yeah.
Because, we are sent on this, a little breadcrumb trail where he goes on about germs.
Well, there's also a scene, I think it's the next day, where Bruce Willis has a conversation with Jeffrey about maybe the human race should get wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a way, at least the red herring that they give us is that did Cole plant that in Jeffrey's head, that idea.
I thought about that too.
And told him the name 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, but in a way he does. It's just not a virus.
Yeah.
Right.
But we find out eventually his dad works for, making viruses.
Yeah. So Jeffrey told his dad about it. You think his dad bought what Jeffrey said?
No, but I think that Jeffrey, he said, let's wipe out humanity. And Jeffrey thought, I can do that with the virus that my dad's creating.
I think that theorists have it better with him giving it to the doctor for the inspiration for the book. I think that one's a better theory than that one. That's just my own opinion.
But it all goes back to, it's all part of the same theory in that Cole is causing all of this.
So the whole bit with the key and James, he is able to slip out during the confusion.
And I kept thinking to myself, wow, that hospital is really lax outside those doors.
He walked into like a bunch of places that people were just sitting around and nobody seemed to care.
Nobody seemed to care. And so he gets on an elevator and he is going down the elevator. And then we cut to Dr. Riley. And it turns out that Cole has escaped. He's down on 2. They got to go get him.
So once they apprehend him,
he put up a pretty good fight. He beat the shit out of a few people, including one of them. I think they said he put him in the hospital.
But we also heard about how he kicked the ass of a couple of police officers
earlier on.
Right.
Yeah.
So there he is. He's locked up, confined in his cell. And now the doctors are talking. All right, just admit it, Dr. Riley. You messed up.
You fucked up. You made a
bad.
You made a bad choice, and I mean, it kind of sucks that she has to go. Okay, yeah, I fucked up.
So he's fully restrained, fully sedated, and he pulls a Houdini. Poof, gone. What the hell? How did he get to go just like that?
Which I had forgotten about. The first time I'd seen this movie, that he kept bouncing back and forth between the past and the present. I thought he was just stuck in the past.
So did I. And as soon as this happens, it clicks for me. I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, he gets transported back to the future. And they're like, what'd you see? What'd you do? And he's like, I didn't see anything because you sent me to the wrong fucking year, guys.
And they're all, at first, they're all like, no, we didn't.
Yeah. And I kept thinking to myself, I got mad at the screen. I kept thinking, you know what? Fuck you guys. Time travel's not an exact science. And I stopped and I thought to myself and I went, well, that's a bizarre statement.
Yeah. And during this time, he spots Jeffrey in a picture.
Yeah, because they're flashing, do you recognize this? Do you recognize that? Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just so happens we get the picture of Jeffrey, but we also get the picture of the pig, which they hold on specifically to go back to Jeffrey because it comes back later.
So he has some more time in front of the scientists, and they're wanting to hear about anything that that he has to contribute. That it's that moment where we get the Jeffrey Gones, and turns out they're going to give him another chance to help reduce his sentence because he's probably one of the better qualified people to try this again.
Yeah.
They're going to give him that pardon. Is this where we also start to get that voice that he starts hearing that we think could be somebody in another room, or is it a voice in his head?
I'm not quite sure where that starts because it just kind of all blended together for me. But yeah, there is a voice. When they send him back to the past, I like the sequence.
I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Hey, we get to watch a little bit of the time travel bit.
Yeah, they're going to show us, I mean, come on, a lot of insertions, but I like how the little tube collapses when he goes through.
And he shoots out.
I almost felt like they flushed him.
Yeah, kind of. And I have a question. So when he's laying there and they got him all strapped up, you notice they put a little cloth over his manhood.
There's something covering him, yeah.
But when he gets shot through...
I noticed how you said little cloth. But
when he comes out the other end, I noticed, did he have it? Or because when he gets shot to World War I...
No, I thought that it was like a plate that was part of the equipment.
Oh, that's a good call. I didn't even think about that.
Either way, when he gets to World War I, he's naked.
I'm thinking, oh, God damn it. You know how much that would fucking suck.
Because they said November 1996. Right on the money.
On the fucking money. What was it, 1870 something?
No, it was like 1917.
Yeah,
something like that, because it's World War I, and they're all French soldiers.
Oh, that's right.
And nobody speaks English, except for it just happens to be his buddy, his cellmate, whatever.
Jose.
is sitting there in the trench, who I guess he's been shot or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Bruce Willis gets shot. And then we cut back to 1996.
Yep. Now we're in Baltimore, November 1996. And we have Catherine. She's giving her speech.
In 1996, Riley gives a lecture about people whose accurate warnings are ignored. Afterward, Cole kidnaps her and forces her to help investigate the 12 monkeys. Their search leads to Jeffrey, now the group's leader and the son of virologist Dr. Leland Goins. Cole suspects Jeffrey may steal a virus from his father's laboratory, but Cole is pulled back into the future before learning the truth. Riley begins to believe Cole after discovering that the bullet from his leg dates before the 1920s and that he appears in a World War I photograph. She warns Dr. Goins to secure his laboratory. Cole returns to 1996, now believing he may actually be mentally ill. Riley, however, is no longer certain. She leaves a voicemail for the future scientist, and Cole reveals he has already heard it in 2035.
I feel like this book thing brings up a lot of key points in the movie. One, it's revealed that, she talks about all these different people from different past times that had predictions about the future, but they all shared the same mental illness that nobody believed them. But now it makes you think these are all people who were sent to the past, probably by these same scientists. But it all led to her writing this book, which she called the Cassandra Theory or something like that, which was in Greek mythology, she was a prophet who could tell the future. She told people the future, but her kind of curse was nobody would believe her. So she would say all these bad things are about to happen, and it would happen because nobody would believe her. Yeah. So that's exactly what's happening with Cole and all these other people from her book, which she says they were all insane, but maybe they were all telling the truth and just nobody believes them.
Yeah.
Whole plot of the movie.
And in the book, we see a picture of Jose, and we think to ourselves, oh shit, we just saw that motherfucker. And then we also meet the assistant. Who is he?
Dr. Peters.
Dr. Peters.
But there's an interesting thing is they make a comment about, because when she's going through her slideshow, she talks about something from the Bible regarding 7 golden angels with 7 golden vials full of the wrath of God. It's from Revelations. Now, the thing that got me, especially the second time I'm viewing this, is did you notice that Dr. Peters had golden hair? And I thought, right there, he's the motherfucker who did it. Because I couldn't remember from the first time I saw it, but thinking that because they focus on that line, they bring up that line, I think one or twice more times, about gold, these golden angels, thinking, right there's our answer.
Oh, there you go.
So right after the book signing is done, Cole abducts Catherine out in the parking lot.
And he gets her to drive, and at first she doesn't know it's Cole. And she says, "Where are you taking me?" He says, "Philadelphia." And she says, "Just take the fucking car." And he goes, "I was 8. I never learned how to drive a car. I told you, remember?" And that's what brings it all back to her.
She goes, "Cole?
James Cole."
And yeah, he has returned. He said, I like how he says, "You said you would help me. I know you probably didn't mean this way, but I'm here for help." But
I like the whole, and again, this goes, I think, to Willis's acting, but when she turns on the radio and the music starts playing, and how you could see he was, visibly moved by the music.
Yeah, he does have a childlike wonder, which, my question would be, he was 8 when this all went down. So, had he not heard music before he was 8?
But he probably had heard the old time music, probably from his parents or whatever, and maybe had grown to like it and just not heard it. It reminded him of a simpler time.
Yeah, maybe. The way he plays it, it's like it's the very first time he's ever listening to it. And when I thought about it like that, I went, oh yeah, he does a really good job. Well, and the needle drops they used were really good too.
Well, and it's been 40 years at least since he's probably, enjoyed music.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And breathe this fresh air.
I like that bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been underground for most of his life.
Yeah, musty air.
Yeah.
I'll bet. So, James, he is dreaming, and he has a brief flash of Catherine in the airport. We come back to this dream again. So we keep bouncing back to different parts, different moments of his dream.
Is this where he substitutes Jeffrey's face onto Peter's body with the blonde, long hair?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the dreams?
One of the dreams. It kind of, again, throws you for a loop because you think he really saw him in the airport.
Yeah, yeah. Because by this point, I'm pretty sure it was Madeleine Stowe who was the blonde. And this is the first time I'm seeing it, right? And I'm pretty sure it was Bruce Willis who got shot. And when they showed the blonde-haired guy or the golden-haired guy and they showed Pitt, I'm thinking, oh, okay, so there you have it, right? But you're right. They throw you for a fucking loop.
And he says to her, it's the same dream I've always had when I was a kid. And you're always really upset in the dream.
Yeah, he tells her that she's in it, and she's like, the only reason I'm in it is because you got to know me.
And he's like, no, you've always been in it.
Yeah. And she's trying to rationalize everything that he comes up with because she doesn't want to believe him. She, at this point, I don't think really does believe him, that she does believe that he needs help and that he's mentally ill. But from the future, fuck off.
And you mentioned this earlier, Professor, but it keeps coming up about the boy in the well. And so we know there's going to be something with this boy in the well. And through their conversations, at some point, Cole says to her, he faked it. It's a prank. He's hiding in a barn.
So the TV set has a little blurb about Catherine is missing and being, they've got a bolo out on Cole. All right, we better hit the road. So the monkey logo is on the wall, and so he's following this paint trail, and he drags her into this derelict theater.
And no good's going to come from this.
There was some weird music noise just happening in that theater that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, and they get attacked.
Right.
And Cole manages to knock out one guy, and while the other dude is beating up on Catherine, he comes over and, gives him a little piece of his mind.
So they're back outside, and he spots what he thinks is a promising lead of a familiar-looking building. And so they head into it, and they go in, and we're looking for the Army of the 12 Monkeys.
It's the Pig's Head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did that building look familiar to either of you?
Nope.
I swear to God, I think that's the gym they used for Mickey's in Rocky.
Oh, possible.
I could be wrong.
Really?
I think so. I mean, when they walked up to it, I was like, am I watching Rocky?
I thought the gym was upstairs. I thought you had to go upstairs.
No, I'm talking about the exterior. When you walk into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Very rarely do the interiors and exteriors of buildings match.
I like how they kind of tie up the three guys that they find in there, and they just come, they come across as idiots.
And I mean, they're not bad people, right? They are, activists, if you will.
Yep. And they start spilling the beans about what they know about Jeffrey.
And they think Jeffrey's a nut.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's coming up with all these plans. And I mean, they don't really get anywhere. So
is this where he finds out about the party or something?
He finds a Rolodex.
Oh.
And he comes up with, okay, I think I know where I can find him.
Because Jeffrey's now working for his dad.
Right. That's what we're told.
And so we cut to them in the car because they pull over and
he lets on that he's bleeding. You're shot.
Oh, yeah. And this is where they take care of his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she notices that the bullet looks strange.
Yeah. And she addresses the wound, and, they stand up and he starts to squeeze her, and she's like, James, don't. They do that a couple of times in this film to kind of build this, to kind of build the suspense. But I don't think at any time did I buy Bruce Willis or his character doing something wrong at that moment. What about you guys?
Well, I will say that whatever it was he was doing, is he making an advance on her? I'm not sure, but it abruptly cuts away.
Yeah.
I got, again, the impression that he's very childlike. He doesn't know how to react or be around women, deal with these feelings and stimulations he's having and urges he's having. So he, again, mentally he's immature.
Well, I was confused that, we leave that and now we are at the dinner party and we see him underneath the car hiding. Okay, so he's arrived at Dr. Goins' place. Where's Catherine?
Right. And so you're thinking, uh-oh, what did he do? But I never thought that he did anything bad.
Yeah, it was just unusual that it's like all of a sudden she's there, then she's not there.
Yeah.
I got the impression that she was just off sitting somewhere because she had the opportunity at one point to run away and she chose to stay with him. And so I thought, oh, well, now she's kind of participating a little bit to see where this goes.
Because after she took the bullet out, the gun is right next to her.
Yeah.
She didn't grab it.
I figured he did something because he doesn't want her to get hurt. Because at the core of it, I mean, he's not really a violent guy, right? He's just trying to do his mission.
Yeah.
And so he sneaks in or doesn't, I don't know if he sneaks in, but we cut to the dinner table and Dad's giving a speech or whatever. And then we get to see Jeffrey cleaned up, long hair. What'd you think of his look in this?
Okay, whatever.
I kept still thinking he still looks fucking crazy.
And his boys come up and say, hey, there's this guy who wants to talk to you.
And because you have such unusual friends, we thought we should maybe give you the benefit of the doubt that you might very well know this person.
Right. And so they go upstairs and they see each other. And I like how Pitt looks at him and goes, nope, never seen him before in my life. I saw that coming.
Now, do you think he did recognize him at first, or do you think that he didn't remember him at first?
I
thought he didn't remember him at first until he started talking.
Maybe. He's kind of ditzy that way, I would think.
He was also pretty doped up when he was a patient.
Who, Jeffrey?
Jeffrey, I think, was pretty doped because they talked about how much he loved the drugs they were giving him.
Yeah, yeah.
So he gets his attention, though. James gets his attention by asking him, well, I wanted to talk to you about the monkeys. 12 of them. And then Jeffrey pulls a 180. Oh, yes, this is my friend Adam.
And, they start talking.
I got the impression that here is kind of where Cole starts to think, did I put the idea of all of this into Jeffrey's head? Because Jeffrey starts saying things about, remember that we talked about humanity and blah, 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 and all this stuff?
Right, yeah.
And Cole's looked at him like, oh my God, I fucking did this. I did all this.
Yeah, yeah. And, it kind of ends with Bruce Willis holding Jeffrey over the ledge, right?
Yeah, and he's calling too much attention to himself now.
And now he has to go.
He runs away.
And this is where we find out that he put Catherine in the trunk to protect
she
her.
was a little upset over it.
Oh, she whooped his ass. But, to be fair, his ass was already kind of whooped.
But when the security goes barging through the kitchen looking for James, we do hear the newscaster talking about how Catherine's body might have been found. This body is...
a body has been found, right?
That might be her, but she was heavily mutilated.
Right. And I never once did I think that had anything to do with it. Nice try, Gilliam. Didn't work.
When does Cole say the line of, I see dead people? Is that the end of the movie?
No, it was kind of... I think it was here when they were talking before he leaves. And he says, all I see are dead people.
Which is interesting because it was just not too long after this that they made The Sixth Sense. They used the same line. Do you remember what the name of the kid was?
Cole.
So I wonder if there's any connection to that.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
But yeah, it was great to see Catherine, and she just lays into James for locking her in the trunk.
Catherine's like, all right, we got to surrender, right? It's going to be okay. I'm going to honk the horn.
Well, at some point, doesn't he start to his brain is fracturing and he's like, maybe there isn't a future. Maybe I really am crazy.
Yeah.
He's standing there in that little creek.
And voila.
Another Houdini.
He gone.
And so now Catherine, she is at the police station and the police officer is asking her lots of questions. And I got to say that the police officer, he comes across as specifically unlikable.
They question her. She's not very helpful.
Yeah, but the way that he ends it being, just this big old cheesy grin, I just didn't like the character.
Yeah, they definitely don't believe her. right? Because, I mean, he even comes at her and says, why do all kidnappees turn around and say the kidnappers weren't such bad guys, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's seen it before, in other words.
The next scene we get is her back at her place and her folks are there, and she hears about the boy in the well was actually a kid prank, and he was hiding in a barn.
Which verifies everything that Cole was saying about the kid.
Well, so far. Yeah.
Right.
And she's like,
And slowly she's coming around thinking, oh, fuck, this guy might have been telling me the truth.
so now Cole, he's awakened to the scientists singing him Blueberry Hill. And he gets his pardon. And he's starting to think that they're not real and maybe he really is crazy.
Yeah. And throughout the film, we talked about the voice that keeps popping up.
And so Catherine, she's starting to have some doubts. And so she goes and she talks to her colleague, the actor who plays the Riddler.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so he's like, come on, you're a scientist.
You know what's real and what isn't real.
What if what James is saying, that 5 billion people really are going to die in a very short period of time? Because he says it's 1996 and 1997. And this is November 1996. And she's starting to get a little trippy.
Right.
And so this is when she gets a phone call from the police department, and they reveal that that bullet was not made. It was made prior to the 1920s. And she's like, what the fuck?
She also finds the photo, which shows Cole's friend in the trench.
Right.
Jose.
And if you know, I didn't notice this the first time, but you see this white arm reaching over him. When she gets to zoom out the photo, there's Cole.
And then we get this big zoom in on her face.
Yeah.
While it happens. Right.
Yeah. And so now I'm thinking right about here, she's thinking, I am going to drop a deuce if I can't figure out what the fuck is going on here.
And then we cut back to the future.
Well, not yet. So the next scene we get is her calling Dr. Goins, and she spills what she thinks is possibly going to be the outbreak source, his lab.
And Goins dismisses her.
But you notice that the whole time she's telling this to him, who is sitting right down next to Dr. Goins?
The guy who is going to release the poison.
The guy with the golden hair.
Who we saw at the book signing, and he was trying to talk to her at the book signing, but she wasn't paying much attention to him.
No, she was just kind of, he and him. And so, yeah, bad guy. Total bad guy. And just for the record, anybody with hair like that, bad guy.
So we're back in the future, and Cole says that he wants to return and continue his work.
And the scientists are like, well, God damn it, he is the most qualified. He has made a connection. He is leading us on the right path, right? And the whole point is they want to find a cure so they can cure their present, right? And they're like, all right, fuck it. Let's send him back.
And so we watch Cole. He continues to being prepped for the return trip, and he sounds for the first time lucid.
Yeah.
And he's able to talk without any type of anomalies in his voice. And he seems to be learned now when he talks about those 8 cities, right?
Uh-huh.
He gives them back in his, bam, 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 bam. And the scientists are like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Catherine, she is, she's outside the place where Cole restrained those 3 young kids, those 3 people. And she's banging on the door, and they're hiding. It's the lady with the crazy guy.
And then in the crowd is Cole.
And we also see inside that Jeffrey's in there.
Yes, and they are preparing for something, right? They're getting shit together, and his posse's kind of freaking out. But Jeffrey has a mission on his mind.
We get this homeless person that starts talking to her outside, and she remembers him. He was that crazy guy that was calling James another name, and he took his teeth out. Where's James? Where's James?
He also has the same voice from James's head.
Right. Who kept calling him Bob. Mm-hmm. Hey, Bob.
And then we see Catherine. She's spray painting something on the outside of their building. And then this is where James shows up.
And James kind of comes out and he says, you know what? You were right. I am loco en la cabeza, and I want to turn myself in.
Well, the police are right there.
And Catherine's like, whoa, hold on, buddy. I don't think you're so local.
Yeah, total role reversal because he's basically saying I'm crazy and it's all wrong, blah, blah. And she's like, no, you were right. This is going to happen.
And she says, the boy, you were right about the boy. He was in the barn. And he was like, no, I probably just saw a show or something like that when I was little and this, that, and the other. And she's like, no way, dude.
Why do you think the police are so insistent on wanting to apprehend Catherine and James? Well, is it just because of the anomaly of the bullet? I found it to be a big stretch that they were able to tag that one murder of that person inside that derelict theater to James.
Well, yeah, that was a little thin.
I got the impression that he's an escaped mental, patient who's obviously killed somebody, and now she's kind of been brainwashed and is helping him. That's why they're following her.
We finally get the reveal of what Catherine was painting on the side of the building. And James says, I've seen this before. And I remember seeing it because it was one of the clippings or it was a picture.
Photo or something, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you haven't, because she's thinking, I just painted it like 2 minutes ago. So she writes on the side of the building, is this a virus? Is this the source? 5 billion people die? And so Jeffrey, we're back inside with him, and he's trying to explain why his ex-psychiatrist knows about the 12 monkeys.
I love how these people finally go, you really are crazy?
Yeah. And I remember thinking, oh, she was his psychiatrist too? Mm-hmm. Wow.
So they end up trying to hide from the police by renting a room that rents by the hour.
And I thought this was kind of a weird left turn for the film to take, but the guy who rents him a room calls somebody and asks about,
pimp, hey, somebody's moving in on your territory.
And lo and behold, as we're upstairs, Cole and Catherine are talking, and Cole's really leaning into the whole, I'm crazy.
But she wants answers. How is it that you suddenly disappeared?
And he's like, I don't know. And
what did you see? What was happening? How did it happen?
I don't know. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
And he's questioning his own sanity at this point, and he's thinking to himself that I don't know what to do or what to believe anymore.
And then somebody comes crashing through the door.
So, this pimp.
And, because they're going to make the call. Catherine says,
the number.
Yeah. Last time you tried this, it was in 90. We're in 96. Let's call. And they go for the phone. And then the dude pops into the room. And it's some pimp. And he smacks Catherine around, pulls a knife. And then James makes a phone call with his head.
Yeah. And he starts working on her. And Catherine realizes where this is going to go.
She better control this shit now.
Yeah.
We're led to believe at first that he probably killed this pimp, but really that last noise we heard was him knocking out his tooth.
Yeah, because he throws him into the bathroom and he doesn't let Catherine in. And we all assume, or the filmmakers want us to assume, that the pimp is dead.
Yep. And then we get a quick shot of the hallway, and people are outside looking in like, what the fuck is going on in there? Somebody called the police.
Yep. And we hear sirens, and they got to leave.
And so James, he comes out, and he's all bloody looking. And, yes, of course he did. He pulled his tooth out so he couldn't be tracked anymore.
Yeah, because that's what that homeless guy had told him, is that they're tracking you through your teeth.
Yeah.
So they flee out the window, and they elude the police, and they get down to the street, and she is going to go make a phone call to that number that James had. And then James, he's looking around. It's like, holy shit, I stood here in my future, and this is where he came up out of the manhole cover when it was all snowy.
Yeah. He sees the lion on the roof and all the snow.
The bear. And,
it's all kind of coming back to him. And then Catherine runs back, and she's all giggly because she says she's happy because it was a dry cleaner.
It wasn't scientists.
It wasn't, end of the world junk. It was just cleaners.
I just left them a crazy message that they're going to have a good laugh about.
And then as she starts telling James the voicemail she left, he finishes it.
Yeah, he says it. She starts it, and he finishes it.
because he's heard it before.
You couldn't have heard me from way over there, she says. Yeah, no shit. This is a big fucking time loop. So
we cut to the Army of the 12 Monkeys, and they have a package.
and it turns out it's what's his name's dad.
It's Jeffrey's father.
It's Christopher Plummer. And I like this because he's all, Jeffrey, I know it's you. And Pitt's like, no, it's not. And then this is where they tell us, and by they I mean the Dr. Goines, is that he has removed himself from the virus, so Jeffrey can't have any access to it. He himself don't have any access to it, and he has put it under strict protection. So he's removed himself. Cole and Riley decide to escape together to the Florida Keys. Along the way, they discover the Army of the 12 Monkeys is only an animal rights group. Their message, "We did it," refers to releasing animals from the Philadelphia Zoo, not the virus. At the airport, Riley recognizes Dr. Peters, an assistant from Goines' laboratory, and realizes he is carrying the virus. Jose, another prisoner from the future, gives Cole a gun and orders him to complete his mission. Cole chases Peters, but is shot and killed by police before he can stop him. As Cole dies in Riley's arms, she sees a young boy watching, the childhood version of Cole. His recurring dream was actually the memory of witnessing his own death. Peter boards his flight and sits next to Jones, one of the future scientists. She introduces herself as being in insurance, suggesting the science may be trying to obtain the original virus rather than prevent the outbreak. Roll credits.
So they end up going to a mall to buy stuff to disguise themselves because they're going to run away to the Florida Keys.
Because they take all that pimp's cash.
Yeah. And so they get him the Hawaiian shirt. And the moment you see the Hawaiian shirt, you realize for sure, I mean, this solidifies it. He's the one that gets shot in the airport.
Oh, yeah.
And she asked, I think the last thing she asked for is, where's the wig department?
Yep. And for a minute, I thought that was for her. But then they go to the movies. And
that's where she puts on the disguise. And she's definitely taking a turn here for him.
Yeah, she believes him. She believes that it's possible that next week we're all fucking dead or nothing will happen. But if we are fucking dead, maybe we can stop it. But time doesn't work like that.
I also got the impression she's starting to have the feelings for him.
Oh, yeah. Outside, after she gets off the phone talking about the Florida Keys, yeah, they embrace each other.
Oh, yeah. And when he sees her as a blonde for the first time, oh, yeah, he's definitely, how do you say, Twitter-pated.
Well, she's the woman of his dreams.
Literally.
So now it's the next morning, and they are headed to the airport. So now I guess she's thinking that James doesn't have any mission to fulfill anymore because they have thwarted it.
I got the impression that she's just given in that it's going to happen. And one of the things that James always wanted was to see the ocean because he's never actually seen it. And so she's just like, fuck it, we're all going to die anyway. Let's just go to the Florida Keys and see the ocean.
So now it's the next morning and they're in the cab. And what? It's 7:30. We don't have to be there till 9:30. Well, yeah, but the traffic.
What do you mean the traffic?
You haven't heard about the 12 monkeys? Needle across the record.
And it turns out that the entire Philadelphia Zoo has, the animals there have been released.
Except one person has been added to the cage.
And we know that it's Dr. Goines and Jeffrey and his monkeys are responsible.
And Catherine, she really has some hope here, and she thinks that everything's going to actually maybe be okay.
Because when they said, we're the 12 monkeys and we did it, it's not that they released the virus. It's that they released all the animals. So maybe, just maybe, we'll be okay. And she even says, you know what? Next week, if there's football and traffic and this, that, and the other, then we'll know we dodged a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they get to the airport and immediately Cole's like, oh, fuck.
I recognize it from my dream.
I've been here, right? And we go through, and we, as the audience, I feel like know how this is going to play out.
Well, Cole goes and leaves a voicemail. He leaves a final voicemail to basically say, the 12 monkeys, I was wrong about it. It's not them. It's something else. This is my final message, blah, blah, blah. Because he leaves this message, Jose shows up.
And I like how they even call out, dude, I just did that 5 minutes ago. And Jose's like, 5 minutes, 30 years, it don't matter.
Well, this is another key point in the movie that makes me think that they knew what was going to happen to Cole and that they're kind of helping it happen, because Jose gives him the gun and says, this is part of your mission. But they don't say what he's supposed to do with the gun, whether who's he supposed to shoot. I think they gave him the gun because they knew he would draw the gun, which is what led him to getting shot, because the police saw him with the gun. So that the whole point of giving him that gun was to make sure Cole got killed. But Cole witnessing himself getting killed affected him in a way that probably led to him becoming that inmate that led to his whole life the way it was, his memory and all that, which led to him getting killed at the airport in the end.
Oh, I would have.
It all happened exactly.
I would have thought not watching himself get killed, because A, he didn't know it was himself.
Nobody.
And B, I think what fucks him up for life is the fucking virus. He's 8 years old when everything goes to shit.
But you think, as a young kid, witnessing someone get killed right in front of you, that's going to cause some trauma.
Not as much as 5 billion people dying and me having to go live downstairs.
Because he mentions when he first gets into the airport how he's been there before. He says this is about a week or two before everyone started dying.
Yeah.
When he was here at the airport last time as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy fuck, this is right around the corner. And I think that he still believes that this probably could be his dream that he witnesses over and over actually taking place. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that he thought that the virus was still a viable option, because he and Catherine, I don't think that they were able to affect anything anymore. So, he heads off to make a phone call to basically say, I quit. And when they come back together, she spots the doctor, it's like, you look familiar. And then the newspaper gets put down on the counter and you're the virus. You're the virus person.
Right.
And so with that, when she gets back to Cole, she's like, I know who it is.
And this is still a real fucking thing.
And when Peters goes through that metal detector and pulls out those viruses, do you notice he releases the virus right there and then when he says, you can't see it or smell it, can you? And he opens up the vial.
I was thinking about that and I went, yeah, that cheeky motherfucker just released it right there too. But wouldn't have he died? Did he have an antidote?
He probably got sick along the way too and died, I'm sure. But he went to all those different cities.
But if it happened as fast, do you know how long that fucking plane ride to fucking Rome is?
But they said it started out as what people thought was a cold, and it lasted a couple weeks, and then people started dying. So he would have had a couple weeks before he died.
And I'm curious about the mental state of this guy wanting to cause such a massive genocide.
Mental state?
Why the hell do you want to kill everything alive like this?
Because he was of the mind that humanity had their chance and they fucked it all up. And so let's get rid of humanity and give the world back to the animals. That was kind of an ongoing theme throughout the movie. They mentioned it several times.
I just didn't understand where his motivation comes from.
Well, I would hope not, because had you understood it, that means you could very well wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of mankind.
So we see the perilous moment of the security detaining them from getting to the virus, and the police officers come over, and now we get to watch the dream play out.
And it plays out just like we've been watching it the whole movie. Cole gets shot. Catherine runs up to him. She sees little Cole. And homeboy gets on the plane.
I love how we watch her scanning the crowd. Where is he? Where is he?
Because she knows.
Where is he?
Yeah. Do you think that's weird for her? I'm gonna love that little boy one day.
No, I think it just gave her a happy little moment, because she got to spend a little bit of time where she had feelings for James.
Yeah.
My thought was she looks at the little boy and thinks, this is all true, this is all going to happen, he's going to have a fucked up life now.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so James is dead, and we cut to the plane, and we find out that Peterson is sitting next to one of the scientists. What do? I'm in insurance. And I remember in the theater in 95 going, oh, they stopped the plague. And it wasn't until this viewing that I realized that you can't change the past.
No.
And so, but they actually did accomplish their mission. But if they can, how are they going to get the information and get it back to the future?
Well, I kept thinking that because they purposely left it vague what she meant about I'm in insurance. And one of the things you could assume is that when she says I'm in insurance, it was, I'm ensuring that everything happened the way it's supposed to happen, that humanity gets killed off, that we go underground, and that we find the cure later on and humanity can start over again. Or is she insurance of making sure all that information gets to the future? I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah.
I would like to think that she has two things that she's hoping to accomplish. One, to take it back to the future so they can find a cure so that their lives going forward can be a more hopeful one, that maybe they can return to the surface. And two, that she would actually prevent the virus from massively spreading by stopping it on this timeline, and then all of these people are on a separate timeline where it does not kill 5 billion people.
Well, I'll tell you what, when they bring time travel to an exact science, I'll let you guys know how it breaks down.
I got the impression that one of the key themes of this movie is you can't change what happened in the past. You know, Cole's whole time loop is the proof of that it happened the way it had to happen. So there is no stopping the virus from happening. I mean, he'd already released it in the airport. So it's gonna happen.
That'll do. Are you telling me that Back to the Future is bullshit? And that was the 12 Monkeys. All right, what do you guys think? You guys ready to rate this flick?
I'm ready to rate this flick. How about you, John? Are you ready to rate this flick?
Some guy told me that he's from the future, and my review is eventually going to destroy all of humanity. So yeah, let's do this.
That was dark.
That was dark. Hey, Professor, how do we do our ratings?
We do our ratings on a scale of 1 to 5 fucks. 5 fucks is a movie that we think is cinematic gold. A 1 fuck movie is you get done watching it and you're thinking, I am never watching this again.
And what's a 0 fuck?
A 0 fuck movie is you get done watching it, you turn to your buddy and you're like, oh, for shit's sake, what the hell? Why would you make me? I want 2 hours and 9 minutes of my life back.
Or in other words, we just don't give a fuck. Who would like to go first?
I went first last week.
You say that every fucking week.
But this time it's true.
Was it?
It's my turn.
Yeah, remember you made me go because I hadn't been here in a few weeks?
Oh, that's right.
Because I was off spreading our DNA.
That's right. I like how he says our. All right, Professor, hit me.
12 Monkeys is a pretty interesting psychological movie when you think about the whole time travel loop that brings the third act to a close. And I think that this is a pretty darn good movie. Bruce Willis, I think, is strong in this. And I enjoyed Brad Pitt as well. He was a very eccentric character that was a lot of fun each time he was on screen. I can't count how many times he flipped people off. That was just part of his vernacular for expressing himself to people. I also thought that, I thought Madeleine Stowe, I thought she was good too. The story arc, you have to concentrate and follow along with the story. And the time travel bit, jumping back and forth, it's nebulous, but more or less you're just along for the ride. So don't get hung up about the semantics, the particulars of something and why does it work the way that it does. It's just kind of sort of something that does. And if you're able to go with that ride, I think that it's a movie worth watching. This is a really challenging movie to think about, as you heard Don, John, and I going about it with the whole third act. I didn't pertain to any particular aspect other than what I stated at the end, that I am hopeful that we have the humankind does actually get to go on, because the virus is not necessarily spread, killing 5 billion people, but they also take the virus back to the future, and hopefully they're able to find an antidote and get themselves back up onto the surface of the earth again. But I think that having this watch compared to what I had last week, this is such an un-Bruce Willis movie. It's so different, but having him, being classic Bruce Willis last week in Armageddon, and then having another strong Bruce Willis movie this week with 12 Monkeys, it's an interesting parallel. And I think that it's worth watching if you haven't seen it before. And if you like these actors, then you're going to enjoy the movie. But it's definitely a mind bender when you think about, the whole time travel bit happening. I'm giving this movie 4 fucks.
4 fucks from the professor. What about you, Guy? You ready?
Sure, I can go next.
All right.
But before I do, what's my rating?
You're going to give it 3.75 fucks.
Final answer?
I think that's what I told myself. Did I leave myself a voicemail? I can't remember. 3.75 fucks.
12 Monkeys is a mind fuck from start to finish. Sometimes overly obvious, other times frustratingly obtuse. Bruce Willis does a great job not being Bruce Willis, stepping outside his usual tough guy cliches, while Brad Pitt completely steals the movie with his manic, unhinged performance. You genuinely believe he's crazy as fuck. The film looks and feels low budget, but its erratic style actually works, creating a constant sense of unease. The first time I watched it, I was confused as hell about what was real and what wasn't, though maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. This time I watched it closely and found plenty of obvious clues pointing towards the ending. I also appreciate how little unnecessary storytelling there is. The ending isn't happy, but it supports the film's message. Humanity desires control, but you can't escape fate. Take special moments you get and appreciate the good that comes from them. It's for those reasons I'm giving 12 Monkeys 3.5 out of 5 fucks.
3.5 fucks from the comic book guy.
So you changed fate.
That ending was very hallmarky. Well done. 12 Monkeys is a good film. I really enjoyed it. I like Bruce Willis in almost anything. Brad Pitt can do no wrong in my book. Terry Gilliam, I think, is a very sound director. He takes a lot of chances. I like his style. I like the look of the film. I like the soundtrack. I thought Madeleine Stowe did a decent enough job. I bought her in the role. She played good off of Bruce Willis. Overall, the story, anything with time travel, you just have to throw to the wind. If you try to make sense of it, I swear to God, you'll get a headache. As far as time travel movies go, I liked it. I like where they went with it. I like how it all played out. I like the fact that the ending for me is that they are on the step in the right direction and they're going to get the cure. And one day, people go back up to the earth, but that's the optimist in me. Overall, I'm giving 12 Monkeys 4 solid fucks. With 4 fucks from me and the professor and 3.5 fucks from the comic book guy, that gives 12 Monkeys an average of 3.8 fucks, which now puts it in the 18th spot with True Lies, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Rambo's First Blood Part 2, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Silver Linings Playbook, and Step Brothers. It is slightly better than Hell or High Water, The Blues Brothers, Booksmart, Fallen, The Cabin in the Woods, and The Muppet Movie. And it is slightly worse than Greyhound, Happy Gilmore, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Arrival, The Descent, and Moonrise Kingdom. So there you have it, boys. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Three Guys in a Flick. If you would like to know which movie we're going to be reviewing next, please check out the website. Speaking of which, hey, John, where can they find us?
They can find us at 3guysinaflick.com, where we post all of our show notes. You can find all of our ratings, and you can submit movies you'd like us to review right into our Bronco helmet. You can find us at all of social media, and you can find us at anywhere that hosts podcasts. While you're listening to us, make sure to subscribe so you get notifications when new podcasts come out. And if you'd like, in the comments, you could leave a movie you'd like us to review.
Speaking of comments, do we have any this week?
We do, in fact. Our first comment is from J. Baptiste 1286, and it's regarding our podcast where we reviewed Monster Squad. He says, man, that one dude constantly just bitching about all the flaws of the movie. Get the fuck over it. It was 80s movie. It doesn't have to make sense picking it apart at every corner. What a jag-off.
What podcast was that for?
That was for the Monster Squad.
Well, I'm pretty sure you liked it.
So I don't think I'm the jag-off.
I think it's
At least not this week.
Yeah, well played, sir. So it's either you or me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to each his own.
Maybe you're both jag-offs.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it.
And I agree with him. The other comment I have this week is for Aliens, and it's from Audrey. She says, the first movie to make me love a supporting cast so much. Their journey is always fascinating to follow. Best xenomorph movie. I agree with Audrey.
All right. Thank you, Audrey. And thank you, everyone who has dropped us a comment. I also want to thank my man, Superman Tanker, and John S., who may or may not be a comic book guy.
Maybe I submitted it in the future.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Or I came from the future into the past to submit it. That's what it is.
Maybe. And I also want to thank anyone who listens and who has suggested a movie. If you keep listening, we'll keep recording. For Three Guys in a Flick, I'm Don.
I'm John.
And I'm Ken. Thanks for listening.
Get out of my chair!
Three guys with some mics, yeah, darted to the flicks. We're here for the real talk, no time for the tricks. Don as the captain, steering us right. Kid drops now, is shedding light. John with the comics, bringing the hype. From the good, the bad, to the absurd. We break it down, make sure you heard. Passion for the screen, we ride or die about movies. You know, we always give a fuck, no lie.
He went out for Chinese food with Francis Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah.
It's a fun run.
And another curious anomaly happens in 4 weeks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what John was saying.
Spoilers! I'm the one who's supposed to tell people what movie we got coming out in a few weeks.
Which is exactly what you guys should do to me if I ever need to be like that.
Have you go to an acting coach?
Whoa! Shots fired from this guy.
Or there's something that's dated in the future that's written down and posted to the wall.
That'll do. And I'm sorry I opened my fucking mouth. That's good.
I'm just here about some monkeys.
Yeah, you are. Speaking of monkeys, it's time. What do you got, Professor?
None.
You
Nothing.
son of a bitch. What about you?
I got 3.
All right, hit me.
69 monkeys.
Interesting. I have 12 kinks.
Oh, I have 12 humpings.
Oh. I have 12 slutties.
I have 12 mount me's. Professor, which is the winner?
How about 12 kinkies?
12 humpings?
12 cock rings.
I'll go for 12 cock rings.
I bet you would, you cheeky fucker.
12-inch man kinks? No, I don't like that.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, there's nothing good for
I
this.
just think 12 mountings. Mountings or mount me's.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you give that one?
The mountings or
Yeah.
the gold cock rings?
Well, the Mounties, because you like that one.
I give that 3.25 on
Yeah.
the Jergen scale.
What did you give the 12 cock rings?
2 tissues.
2.
Yep.
Stingy fucker. I will give 2 cock rings, 2 tissues, and 12 Mount Me's, 2 tissues as well.
I feel like
Split
you're
right
doing
down
like
the middle.
that Christmas song.
2. I don't even know how to put that in a tune, but that's good.
12 cock rings.
It'd be 5.
Or 5
5.
golden cock rings.
No, it's too much. It's too many syllables. We'll have to figure that out for Christmas. Professor's like writing shit down right now, dude. It's COC.
Hey, that'll do.
And may all your days and nights be filled with happiness. All right, fuck off. Good night.
Tune in to the real. Catch the vibe. As three guys in a flick, keep the passion alive. Fuck that night.